Hello back, this is Oliver. We're starting with section 2.6 today, which is dividing real numbers. So the main concepts in this section is when you have a non-zero number a, the multiplicative inverse of that is 1 over a. It's called multiplicative inverse because a can be written as a over 1. So the inverse of that would be 1 over a. So this is called the multiplicative inverse of a non-zero a. When you multiply a with its inverse, you get 1 because a and a cancel out, right? You get 1. When you divide 0, any number, non-zero number with 0, you get 0. When you divide two numbers with the same signs, you get a positive number. The quotient is positive. When you're dividing two numbers with opposite signs, such as plus and minus or minus and plus, you end up with a negative quotient. So let's start. Okay, number one, find the multiplicative inverse of this number. So this number can be written as minus 22 over 1. So what's its inverse? It's minus 1 over 22. Okay. Minus 5 can be written as minus 5 over 1. So its inverse is minus 1 over 5. Minus 4 can be written as minus 4 over 1. So its inverse is minus 1 over 4. Minus 1 over 4, its inverse is minus 4 over 1, or just minus 4. We don't write over 1, right? It's just minus 4. The multiplicative inverse of minus 1 over 3 is minus 3 over 1, or just minus 3. The multiplicative inverse of minus 5 over 6 is minus 6 over 5. Okay. Find the quotient. Okay. Another thing is when you have a number a and you're dividing a divided by b, this is the same as when you're multiplying the inverse, the multiplicative inverse of b with a. Okay, this is the same thing. So a divided by b is a times 1 over b. So when you're adding the multiplicative, when you're multiplying the multiplicative inverse of b to a, that's how you're dividing a with b. So in this case, minus 25 divided by 5, this can be represented as minus 25 times, and then the multiplicative inverse of 5 can be written as 5 over 1, so it would be 1 over 5. Okay. And this is minus times plus is minus, then 25 times 1 is 25, over 5 is 5, or you can cancel out 25 and 5 with 5. This is 1, this is 5, so 5 times 1 is 5. So minus 5 is the answer. Okay. Number 8, 36, and then divided by minus 4, or this is times the multiplicative inverse of minus 4. Minus 4 is minus 4 over 1. So the multiplicative inverse of minus 4 over 1 is minus 1 over 4. Okay. You have plus and minus, minus, and then 36 and 4 can cancel out by 4, 1, and here 9, because 4 times 9 is 36, so 9 times 1 is 9, so minus 9 is the answer. Okay, number 9, we have minus 48 times, this is minus 4 over 1, so times minus 1 over 4. Minus, you have minus and minus here, so this is plus. The product will be plus, and then 4 and 48 cancel by 4, 1, and here we have 12. So 12 times 1 is 12, so plus 12 is the answer here. Number 10, we have minus 12 times the multiplicative inverse of 1 over 2 is 2 over 1, or just 2, or this is minus 24. Okay. Number 11, we have 24 divided, so multiplying, and then the multiplicative inverse of that would be minus 3 over 2. 2 and 24 cancel out by 2. This is 1, this is 12. 12 times, we have plus and minus, so minus, and then 12 times 3 is 36. Minus 36. 12, we will have minus 10 times 2 over 5 would be 5 over 2, the multiplicative inverse. And then minus and plus is minus, and then 10 and 2 cancel out by 2. 5 times 5 is 25, so minus 25. 13, we have minus 3 over 4 times 1 over 3, right? 3 over 1, the multiplicative inverse of that is 1 over 3. Minus is the product of minus and plus is minus, and then 3 and 3 cancel out. You have 1 over 4. Minus 1 over 4 is the answer. Number 14, we have 10 over 11, so 10 over 11 divided by minus 5 over 1, or this is times minus 1 over 5. 10 and 5 cancel out by 5, this is 2, so we have minus 2 over 11. Okay. Number 15, we have minus 1 times, this is minus 2 over 3, the multiplicative inverse. We are multiplying two numbers with the same sign, so plus is the product, and then 1 is 1 over 1, so 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 3 is 3, so plus 2/3. Find the mean of the numbers. So mean is when you're adding up the numbers and you're dividing by the number of numbers. So here we have minus 6 and 4, so it's minus 6 plus 4 and dividing by the number of, how many numbers we have? 1, 2, 2. So minus 6 plus 4 is minus 2, over 2 is minus 1. Minus 1 is the answer. For number 17, we're adding up the numbers. Minus 7 plus minus 9 over, we have two numbers, over 2. Minus 7 and minus 9 is minus 16. Over 2 is minus 8. Okay. Number 18, we're adding up these numbers. So minus 13 and minus 2 divided by, we have two numbers. So that's minus 15 over 2, or minus 7.5. Okay. Number 19, we're adding up these numbers. So the mean will be minus 2, minus 9, plus 8, over how many numbers? 1, 2, 3. We have three numbers, so divide by 3. Minus 2 and minus 9 is minus 11, plus 8 is minus 3, over 3, or minus 1. Number 20, we're adding up these numbers, so minus 5, plus 2 and minus 3 over how many numbers? 1, 2, 3. Three numbers. Minus 5 and minus 3 is minus 8, plus 2 is minus 6 over 3, or minus 2. 21, we're adding up these numbers. 3 minus 5 and minus 28 divided by 1, 2, 3. Three numbers, 3. So here minus 5 and minus 28 is minus 33. We're adding up two negative numbers, minus 33 and plus 3. We have plus 3 over 3. Minus 33 plus 3. Which one is greater? 33 is greater, so minus. We're adding up two numbers, but they have different signs. So 33 minus 3 is 30. Minus 30 over 3, or minus 10. Okay. And now about 1, 2, 3, 4 textual problems. 25, melting point. The melting point of the element nitrogen is minus 210 Celsius. The melting point of the element bromine is minus 7.2 Celsius. How many times lower is the melting point of nitrogen than the melting point of bromine? So it would be minus 210 over minus 7.2. Round your answer to the nearest tenth. So the product will be positive, right? And then we have 210 divided by 7.2, which is 29.166666. Around your nearest to the nearest tenth. So it would be 29.16 or 2, 29.2. Beach erosion. During a 4-year period, 20 square miles. So 20 square miles, so mile squared of a beach shoreline has eroded during a 4-year period. So eroded, that means it's a negative connotation. So it's a negative, okay? So it's the beach shoreline is narrowing, right? It's becoming smaller and smaller. So it's a negative number. So we have to, during a 4-year period, okay? So we have to find the average rate of change. The rate of change will be negative, right? Because it's decreasing that shoreline. So over 4-year period, so over 4. So this is a negative, right? We have to, over 4-year period, we have to find the average rate of change in square miles per year. So we have to find per year. So we have to just divide these numbers. So minus 20 divided by 4 is minus 5 miles squared per year. Okay. 27, peregrine falcon. The velocity of an object indicates the object's speed and the direction. So it's speed and direction. That's the velocity in which the object is traveling. A negative velocity indicates that the object is moving downward or backward. A peregrine falcon is diving downward, so it's moving downward or backward. That's a negative velocity. Okay, so we're going to have a negative number at a rate of 220 feet. So 220 feet in 2 seconds, and it's going negative, right? It's a negative downward velocity. Find the average velocity of the falcon in feet per second. Okay, so we just have to, this is minus 220 over 2 is 110 feet over seconds. Okay, that's 27. 28, the table below shows the low temperatures in a town during 5 days in February. Find the mean. Okay, we have to add them up and divide by the number of days. So this is basically -4 -3 or plus -3, it's the same thing, plus 0 -1 -2 divided by 1 2 3 4 5 over 5 days. So -4 and -3 is -7, and -1 is -8, and -2 is -10. So -10 over 5, or the product, the quotient will be negative, different signs, negative. 10 divided by 5 is 2, because 2 times 5 is 10. So -2, and this is Fahrenheit. So this is Fahrenheit. Okay. So that's all for today. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much. Bye.